61 of my carnivore life, and I just wanted to show you my kitchen because we're gonna do the high fat approach and we're gonna make some burger patties. You have the information in America if it's 80-20. I don't have this information on the packages I use, so yeah, that's a little bit, so I don't know if this is 80-20 or not. I will top it with some egg salad. It's just cooked eggs with cold butter. Very important to have the cold butter. And egg yolks does have more fat, so you can mix and match. So you can maybe use 4 eggs, the whole, if you can tolerate the egg white. And then, I'm just gonna put you here. And then use maybe 4 egg yolks to make it more high fat if you want to. Then I will top it with some bacon, that's what I want, and some butter, because a high fat approach for me is going to be 1 stick of a butter, and I can tolerate it now after 61 days more easily. And because I use the bale salt, so you can look up a little bit, and if you have issues with your digestion and tolerating fat and these kind of things, you can look up bale salts and the function around it. I do think it helps, honestly, but it can be also because I'm 61 days in, so I cannot tell you if this is the thing that is working. I'm gonna cook the ground beef in tallow because I want to increase my fat that way as well, but I like it more crispy and crunchy. You don't have to do that because the fat has enough, the meat has enough fat, so it will cook without anything. But don't eat the sauce that is left over if you cannot right now tolerate it, because it can cause you a lot of issues. So use the fat and just recycle it and then use it to cook again. So that's basically what I can tell you, what I learned now from a lot of people. And also very important, don't eat it hot. It's also very interesting. Eat it cold, because hot butter, melted butter in all kind of ways can cause you troubles with your guts. So be just careful about that and see how you're doing. You know, some people can tolerate it. I cannot tolerate it. I need it clash very cold. At evening, we will have some hip steak with some butter. And one thing I can tell you, yesterday, I just have to move you around. I showed in my last video because I post every day. So I did show you that I make liver pancakes. It's just liver, eggs, I put some cottage cheese in it, then mixed it, fried it in a pan with tallow, put some ground beef on it and some goat cheese. Some light goat cheese for me. Why? You should always go, if you're having a high fat approach, with the high fat versions of everything, if you still use dairy and these kind of things, so you will get the fat. But for me, on goat cheese especially, if I do have the high fat approach on goat cheese, I tend to overeat and I tend to binge eat. But if I have the light version, I don't do that. I cannot explain it. Maybe it's the taste, but something just in my body doesn't need to eat all of it. So that's why I take the light version. That's the only reason why I do that. So if you can do it, you know, but I honestly, it's amazing. Just a little bit of any kind of cheese. If I put it on a lot of meat and butter and this kind of, you know, approach, I don't have cravings. I don't have them. Yesterday we went to shopping and, you know, we had so much things surrounding us with all the, and I was hungry and I didn't even think about something sweet. I didn't even think about anything. And that was like, I know it's because of the goat cheese, because it just satisfies me, or the cheese in general satisfies me with the butter in combination, and it just makes me happy. And one thing, I walked yesterday 13,000 steps. That's a lot for me. It's just amazing. I love it, you know, when I can manage to do that on weekends, on Fridays, Saturday and Sunday. And my son was hungry, I was hungry, and we went to the city, and he said he doesn't want to eat meat. And I said, you don't have to. If you don't want to, you know the drill, you know, and you can choose today by yourself and learn it the hard way. And he said, yeah, he wants to have ramen with the noodles. I said, okay. And we went to this little shop outside which has the cheapest food you can imagine. So it just sucks. You know, you have €6 for that big of a bowl of this food and 5 people can eat it. And then I say, yeah, okay, if you want to eat this, is with duck and some noodles, just duck and noodles. It wasn't a ramen then in the end. So I say, eat it, learn it. He was eating it and I was standing there and I was so disgusted by everything surrounding me of food. Really, I was just like, ugh, the smell and everything. And I was so hungry. I thought I was hungry. So I was looking at my son, eating his noodles. And after 3 hours, he was again crying. And I was like, no, I'm so, not crying, but whining. I'm in pain. I don't feel well. And I just looked at him and I said, you know what I'm gonna say? And he said, yeah, I know, I have to listen to you. And I said, yeah, so you learn it the hard way. That's the good part. I learned it the hard way. And so you're gonna learn it the hard way as well. So that's what's cool, your children are learning in the end. And he wasn't hungry then for dinner and he didn't want to eat anything. And now that's what I'm preparing for our breakfast. And we're gonna eat at 9, at 12 and at 17 o'clock because that's the meals that somehow work the best for me, and I'm losing weight when I have smaller portions. And also because if you go high fat, you cannot tolerate in the beginning to eat a lot of fat in one sitting and one meal a day. So you really need to figure out what works for you in the end. And fasting also, do you have intermediate fasting and have smaller windows? That is better for your body, to have smaller eating windows and not to eat the whole day and snack. That's important actually, but don't fast if your body puts into stress, and you will gain weight if your body is into stress. And that's what's happening with me. And I posted in my community a story in the community part. Just look, you have to watch her video. Really, you have to watch that. It's an interview with Kelly Hogan and a woman, and she's 65 years old. She lost 150 pounds, and what happened to her and how she did it in the high fat approach and these kind of things is so interesting. So I really recommend you to watch that. And that really blows my mind a little bit of her approach. And she needs 3,500 calories just to not gain weight. And if she eats less, she gains weight. And that's exactly what's with me. So there are a lot of people, they cannot tolerate more calories on carnivore. Some can tolerate even to 6,000 calories. So it's very, very different for everybody. You just need to figure it out. But don't be scared to overeat and eat too much calories, especially in the beginning. Just eat, and your body will tell you what is working for you and what not. So the cravings and these kind of things just stopped for me when I used a little bit of goat cheese. And then I realized I'm not even hungry. And then we went and I bought my pork fat, it's like little pork fat things. And I bought some bacon beef jerkies without sugar. So I was snacking on that because we went there with friends, with kids, and it was a lot of stress and a lot of people. So I'm not very good with a lot of little children, honestly, because my son is 11 and he's different. He was always growing up with adults, and it's so much easier. I don't know. And the kids, were screaming and punching their moms and eating all the time crappy food. And I was like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. It was a little bit too much, to be honest. And one thing I also realized is to see how people, what they give their kids and how aggressive they started to be and how constantly they were eating, and the people telling you, oh, my kid is eating so much and she eats 5 portions of this and that and lasagna, and I was like, yeah. And the people are gaining weight a lot in their surroundings and these kind of things. I was like, yeah, because you eat the wrong things. You see it with me. And it was my friend saw me and she was like, whoa, you lost weight, your face is glowing, your eyes are glowing. And everybody who knows me now from the beginning, I post every day, you see the difference with my whole appearance and also with my mood and these kind of things. So yes, carnivore is working. We don't have to argue about that. And one thing also happened yesterday is I went to because I have MS, I went to the MS clinic and I stopped using my meds 2 weeks ago. I was feeling so much better because I was allergic to the medication, and she wanted to see me and we should discuss our next steps. And It was rough. It was really rough because my medication list dropped down to 2 medications that are left of a big list of medication that MS patients could use, and I'm in a high risk group. So what does this mean? I have 2 options. If I don't use now the best that they have, because I do have antibodies for a lot of the medication, I would die if they would give it to me before they figured out that this is causing the death. So yeah, right. I'm thankful for that I didn't, have MS before they figured this out. So I would be dead actually. And that's what's in my mind, But if I don't use it, there would be no chance for me to have any kind of medication that will help me. So I have only one option. I can use it and, have this every 6 months, the infusion, and maybe it goes the wrong way because it can cause tumors and breast cancer. So yeah, my options are great. But if I don't use it, then the chance is like 99% for me because of my development. And she was very angry with me when I started like arguing. I said, can we just, wait and see in 6 months if it's really starting to getting, progressing, or then a year or something like that. And I'm not ready to make this decision. It's so hard for me. My body needs a little bit of peace. And she was so angry. And I do understand where she's coming from, because she said, your pictures are evidence for you not being good and that your progression is more than most of her patients, because it's growing so fast, it's coming so often. And she said, I can give you the prognosis that you will basically in a few years be in a wheelchair and there is no way out of it. So sitting there knowing that, I was like, okay, damn it. My options are great. I can have the healing from the meds and maybe got tumors and breast cancer, yay! Or if I don't do it, the chance are 90 to 99% that I will be in a wheelchair and just be this, and walking like this, because my things wouldn't function and my brain will stop working like it works. And maybe I will have to have a tube because my lungs were not working. So great options. I am so thankful for that. And of course, I can now go with my gut and the risk and say, I'm not taking the medication. I'm going high risk and I know that this will heal me. But I don't feel well. I went into the church, honestly, because God brought me to Carnivore. Honestly, God brought me to Carnivore. And I went into the church, I sit there and I said, God, I need answers. I need answers. What should I do? I have no clue what to do. What should I choose? Because both of the sides are bullshit and I'm in high risk. So I went out of the church, and to be honest, I had a phone call with my father, and he said, go with the medication, because at the beginning he said to me, if they're giving you this specific medication, there are a lot of success on that. He knew it from the beginning. It was true. He knew it from the beginning, and he said, if they give you this medication, take it. But they didn't give me this medication because it's high risk, and they tried everything else before they're starting to give the bad medication, the good ones, but the high risk. And he said, take it. So that was like a sign for me from God answering my question, honestly. And that's why I'm doing it. I'm led by my surrounding and think that are just feeling right, giving me answers. So that's why I'm going to go with the medication. So that also can fuck me up a little bit and, make things worse. There are also some side effects like flushing, and you can be totally red, your whole body, and these kind of things. So, and some other more severe, but that's actually the appearance parts. And maybe we're gonna start in 1 or 2 months, depending on when it's, there yet. So that's what's new, and we're gonna figure it out, and 40 minutes is enough. We're gonna shorten it a little bit up. And so I'm going to the farmer's market today, ask for ribeye trims. They also give it sometimes for free in America, so I'm interested if they're gonna give it to me. I'm going to IKEA because I love IKEA and I need some things. So, and I'm gonna enjoy this beautiful day, and I'm enjoying my happy dresses. So, because I can wear them now and be happy, and you know, I didn't do that. I was just wearing black in the last summer, so that's completely changing my mood, and people are really approaching me differently also. And by the way, I was yesterday asked out twice by people from my past, and I was like, what the hell is going on, you know? So immediately, as you feel good, you know, these kind of things happen. But these are not people I want to date because, you know, they didn't approach me in the last 3 years. So yeah, it's not my problem. And one thing also, they asked me, you know, let's go drink tequila, because I posted a funny meme about tequila in my private social media. And then they said, yeah, let's go drink a tequila. And I say, I'm sorry, I don't drink alcohol. That's the first time I said that. You know, I'm usually one of the social drinkers. I don't drink much, but I don't want to drink alcohol. So we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that. We're gonna slowly go into the healthy mindsets. Yeah, let's do this. I always love to hear all your stories. So please let me know a little bit more about you. And if I don't see your comments, if you don't have a heart, I didn't read it because YouTube is not showing me every comment. And sometimes in a month I look at old videos and check all the comments where I did read it, so I'm trying to keep up. But I do have in mind your beautiful stories as well, so please, you have to sometimes remind me. And I just love to hear from your experiences and your life, and it's just fun to read it. So yeah, happy to have you. And you can add me on Instagram, and if you want to have something, know something, ask something, you can also do that on Instagram if you want to, ivy.wolf. And let's eat and prepare food. Bye bye.